Two new startups. We have a great collaboration with Startup India. So there's one always from the Indian side, one from the Swedish side. So the first one is Herosight. And Herosight specializes in digitizing practical simulation, training, and enabled decision-making support in various fields with the use of augmented reality and 3D visualization. Their mission is to offer their clients customized, innovative, and carefully crafted solutions for all types of needs, always incorporating the latest technology available. They aim to facilitate the customer's challenges and optimize their learning abilities as well as their communication. Thank you, Herosight. That was really interesting. And now we will present CRON. It's a New Delhi-based CRON Systems, develops border and perimeter defense equipment, including intrusion detection systems and drones. Its first product is a series of infrared and laser-based intrusion detection systems. Its detailed product portfolio includes quick response tool for decision-making, real-time audio interfaces, real-time CNC platform, and encrypted communication systems. CRON Systems is a leading provider of high-performance sensing products and perception software that brings visions to the UAVs, automobiles, mapping, security, and general surveillance and other industries to enhance situational awareness. Over to CRON.
Hi, my name is Tushar Chhabra, and I'm the co-founder and CEO at CRON AI, which is a Derby UK-based company working on creating a 3D data perception platform which allows machines to perceive and learn unknown environments, allowing innovators to build a safer, autonomous future. We are building a 3D data AI perception platform, software, and a 3D data inference edge engine, which is our hardware. This embedded device is focused to be contextually aware and allow machines to perceive the data from any of these 3D sensors ranging from LiDARs to radars to haptics and work across domains. We realized that the vision of the autonomous future has hit a major roadblock. We have spent billions of dollars in creating more and more sophisticated, efficient 3D data generators, which are LiDARs, radars, time-of-flight cameras. But unfortunately, we do not have a platform which can actually give actionable insights the way we humans can perceive the world. For all the billions spent in creating applications ranging from autonomous mobility to smart cities to security, you need this 3D data to be converted into actionable insights. And that is the problem we are solving with a vision to become the heart of the autonomous future.
Thank you, CRON. That was really interesting, and thank you for your pitch. Now we're going to the SAAB headquarters, where Cecilia Oldne, Vice President, Sweden-India Business Council, will interview Micael Johansson, President and CEO of SAAB and co-chair of Defense in the India-Sweden Business Leaders Roundtable. Over to the SAAB headquarters.
Welcome all. My name is Cecilia Oldne, and I'm the Vice President at Sweden-India Business Council. Today I'm at SAAB's headquarters in Stockholm. SAAB is a partner of Sweden-India Business Council. And with me today I have no other than SAAB's CEO and President, Micael Johansson. Micael is also a member of India-Sweden Business Leaders Roundtable. Thank you so much for participating in India-Sweden Innovation Day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a great honor to be here. I hope the audience is out there. It's still a bit digital, of course, but it's going to be nice to have a conversation here today.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Me too.
I'm going to start with the first question. Could you, Micael, give us a broader picture of SAAB's products and your presence in India?
Well, it's going to take a long time to describe the whole portfolio, but I'm not going to do that. But when it comes to India, we have been in India for a long time. And it's actually started with the Carl Gustav ground combat weapon in the 70s. And that has been a success over the years, of course. But since then, we've done many other things. So India is an extremely important country to us and important customers, both on the integrated defense systems for helicopters, for example. We've sold many systems on that side. We are responsible for the, what do you call the automatic identification system around the coast of India. So we can track all the vessels around the coast. We have other things related to census in country, and of course we're looking at the big contracts as well all the time. So we've been part of a number of campaigns, and we're still working intensively with the Gripen, the fighter procurement process, which we are we've been doing that for a long time, and we're following the process, and we're looking forward to have sort of the expression of interest that we think will come out eventually. What we have done in India, which we are proud of, is that we offer a full technology transfer. So when we go there, we want to establish ourselves with content in India and localization, creating sovereign capabilities, which means that we prepare to do that also on the larger programs like the Gripen program. That supports, of course, the Make in India process, which I understand that India needs sovereign capability. So India is an important country to us with lots of content right now, but hopefully more to come.
Looking forward to that. But SAAB is traditionally a defense company. How do you view the civil security market in comparison to the defense market in terms of complexity and the potential?
Well, I mean, it is complex. I mean, the threats are we don't see only the normal sort of military threats today. We see threats in all type of avenues in terms of terrorism, cyber threats, infrastructure threats, disasters, not natural disasters, man-made disasters. So we will have to have systems that can cope with that as well. Some of that technology might come from the defense side. Other parts of the technology is actually done within the civil security area, which will then transfer to the defense side. So we work with both, of course, and there is synergy in between these different domains. I would say the market is a bit more fragmented when it comes to civil security, and not as easy to manage because the procurement agencies are not sort of consolidated in the same way. So many different authorities and companies that acquire things in the civil security domain.
Right.
So it is complex.
Yeah. It really is. And civil security is the theme for SAAB participating in Sweden India Innovation Day 2020. Could you please explain what SAAB can provide in the civil security domain?
Yeah, we have focused quite a lot on what I would call the safety of infrastructure and incident management, the flow of people and protecting that and creating a situational awareness picture of what's going on. So traffic management in a broader sense is an important area to us, both when it comes to sort of the flow and safety of airplanes and people in an airport, but also the same thing when it comes to port with goods and people flowing in and out, and also when it comes to the roads. And we are actually part of this this initiative and innovation program, which is called the Sweden-India Transport Innovation Safety Study, and that is where we can use our command and control systems and sensor capabilities to provide safety on the roads, which I think is something we've shown in London with the Transport for London, where we have delivered sort of an incident management system that copes with that. So that is an important part to us.
You mentioned the SAFE platform and its application in Sweden-India Transport Innovation and Safety Platform and air traffic management specifically. Could you please elaborate a little bit further on those areas and how they fit into the Indian society?
Well, I think India is a large and big country with, for example, lots of airports. And we've started now to provide in different countries both what we call air traffic management, which is the sort of the flow of aircraft outside the gates and how we manage people having a sort of a continuous flow and safety in an airport. And you can control that. And then we add another product called Aerobond to that, which is a decision support tool, I would say, for the employees and the air traffic controllers in an airport. So that's one example where we combine products, and with all the people which are normally, not maybe under the pandemic now, but traveling in a big country like India, these things are extremely important and would sort of create a safer and better flow of people between regions.
Absolutely. That leads me to my next question, because you also mentioned cybersecurity as an area attracting huge interest in these days. But what is SAAB doing, and how important will cybersecurity be for the company as well as the society going forward?
Well, I mean, we see everything is getting connected. You have sort of rather high-tech solutions in every part of the society today, which also will lead to that it's much more sensitive to threats, of course. If you get into sort of one part of that sort of system, not easily, but you could access the wrong data or connect to the wrong infrastructure if you want to make trouble. So, of course, when it comes to us, we've started from our own portfolio, where we implement sort of the cyber prevention products, intrusion prevention products in our own products, of course, to actually make them cyber secure. But then we provide also what you call secure clouds, so we can actually deliver that to customers so they can build their own applications on a secure cloud application. So we've started based from our own portfolio, but we have now provided solutions to ourselves that we can also provide to the marketplace. This is going to be crucial going forward because otherwise we won't be able to connect. That is both for military systems, of course, but also for every part of the civil society. So there's a huge need for the sort of intrusion prevention products, and everything is in the cloud today. So where the data centers are, we don't really know. Those data centers needs to be protected, and sometimes you have to have your private cloud, so you know where you have your data, and then you need specific applications, and we provide those.
I'm very, very happy to hear that. And I do know also that you as an organization and within SAAB work with ventures and startups, and that those startups are to a high extent focused on civil security. How do you view the innovative landscape in civil security?
I think what we've seen from a technology perspective is that we really strive to have some sort of, not slack, but at least sort of available time in our organization to work with innovation, which means that some technologies that we work with within the defense area or the civil security area, some people will sort of have an idea that this might work also for other applications. Now, we don't know that market, so for example, we have helped startups to spin out or sort of embrace our technology into what they know as a market. Examples are, for example, automatic waste sorting with the same technology as we use in our missiles to do target tracking. We can measure sort of timber in forest when you normally would do that manually, and we can sort of do that measurement with that technology. We have done something we call 3D mapping, which is also algorithms from the defense side, which has been used on satellite imagery to create high accuracy 3D mapping. And of course, we want to be part of these startups and help them get going. And eventually, of course, the idea would be to capitalize on that from a financial point of view, but also it will generate lots of innovation in the society. So it's an important part of SAAB. We don't just sort of throw away things we don't think we can use. We try to find avenues outside our own area, our own business, so to say, to help startups to get going. And then we step out of that after some time, of course.
That's fantastic. I'm sure that many listening in today are very encouraged and excited to hear about this and the opportunities that there are. But I want to end with a question which I think is very important, and that is, what advice would you give startups as well as established companies entering the civil security domain to be successful?
Well, I think what we've seen in our venture activities is, of course, I'm impressed with the agility of these small companies. When they get their hands on technology and they can work in avenue, they are extremely agile, and they are much better at that than we would be as a larger company. So continue to be agile until you're sort of safe and you can actually get your business growing. And they can do fantastic things because it's all about digitalization today. You don't have to be a really big company to make a difference in the society, providing new technology. So stay agile and think big.
Wise words. Thank you so much, Micael, Johansson, and SAAB for participating in India-Sweden Innovation Day 2020. Looking forward to the rest of the day and to more of SAAB and Sweden and India.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cecilia and Micael. That was really, really inspiring and so cool to look at the SAAB headquarters. And it was, we are totally inspired. I also want to take the opportunity to thank once again our sponsors and partners without whom this day would not have been possible. Now I'll hand it over back to you, Cecilia, Vice President, Sweden-India Business Council, to take on the panel for civil security. Over to you, Cecilia.
Thank you so much, Sanjo. And I must say that was such an interesting discussion that I had with Micael Johansson at their headquarters in Stockholm. Now, on the same subject, which is such an important topic and subject, it is also the theme for SAAB's participation in India-Sweden Innovation Day, civil security, something that works and is so important to protect society 24/7. Of course, SAAB is doing so much in the space, and of course, Micael Johansson. But there are also so many other heroes who are working day and night to protect us and to keep us safe. And therefore, I'm very, very happy to have with me such an important panel today with speakers who again work with SAAB and other companies to make sure that we are again safe. So on civil security, and also talking about the points of traffic management, of air quality, of fire management, of countering terrorism, and also when it comes to the deployable hospitals, crime fighting, and so on. With me, with no further delay, I would like to introduce my panel. So thank you so much, gents, because this is a panel of 5 amazing men. I have with me Peter Engberg. He is the Vice President, Head of Traffic Management, Business Area, Industrial Products and Services at Yes, very much SAAB. I also have Raman Vaidyanathan, who is joining us from India, CTO Strategic Solutions, IoT Embedded Systems, Tech Mahindra. Daniel Kindstrand, CEO and founder, Herosight. I have also with me Anders Lindström, who's a Senior Director, Sales at the Medical Care at SAAB. And I have Tushar. He is the CEO and co-founder of CRON. So welcome, gentlemen. And I would like to leave the word to start with to Peter Engberg. You, of course, work in an area that is very dear to SAAB, which is traffic management. We would love for you to say a few words about what you do in particular in this space and what it is that SAAB is doing to keep people and society safe. Peter.
Thank you, Cecilia. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor. I'll talk a bit. I mean, SAAB's vision is it's a human right to feel safe. And Micael talked about that when we keep people in society safe through pushing technology boundaries. We've done that since 1937 when we were founded through the handshake between Marcus Wallenberg, the older the chairman of SAAB at that time, and Per Albin Hansson, to build fighters and protect the Swedish borders. This has been, and to keep people in society safe, we delivering state-of-the-art solutions worldwide. I would like to talk about one of those solutions, which is the SAFE platform. The SAFE platform is a command and control platform for command and control rooms in cities, and it makes cities smarter. For example, for transport, for airports, and of course for police forces. We talked about this this morning when we about the CITES project, where we use the SAFE platform as a command tower in that project for transport, and we do that together with Tech Mahindra. In UK, we have launched SAFE. We came there 2016. I want to use that as an example. 2016, we went into the market, and today the leading command control supplier for UK police forces. We have today 9 police forces with our systems, and we have replaced maybe 28 competitors. So it's simplifying the police control rooms. When we now add Ireland, which we won and announced last week, we will have 13 police forces using this in the UK. So with SAFE, we have had an approach to make sure that the police forces are digitalized, automated. The police forces' work is digitalized and automated. And we make sure that after we have put the SAFE platform there, the police force is more efficient, more faster, and of course keeping the people more safe. I would like to stop there.
Great. Thank you, Peter. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. I know that you're working so much in this particular space, and I would like to hear a little bit later, because I think many would be interested to know if this project that you're working with the UK police could potentially be replicated in India. But I will keep people hanging and come back to you, Peter, and move on to my next hero, as I would like to call you gents today, because of the amazing work that you're doing. Tushar, Chhabra, you are the CEO and founder of CRON, and what you do is interesting. A lot of people would not know too much about it, so I would like you to tell us a little bit more about CRON and what you do in the 3D sensing space.
Sure. So thank you so much for the great introduction. So at CRON, we are building this 3D data perception platform, SenseEdge, which allows machines to perceive and learn unknown environments on the edge, allowing innovators to build a safer automated future. As we've been discussing numerous applications, especially in security, smart spaces. Now, for these applications to be actually successful, you need machines to be able to perceive, or the static environment to be able to see and perceive the world much like the humans do. We basically take data from any of these 3D sensors migrating from LiDARs to millimetric wave radars to any kind of 3D data generator. And we make sense of this data and give data output, which is an actionable insights. So we are addressing the gap between the billion-dollar applications such as autonomous cars, smart cities, safer cities, and people who are building the 3D sensors. We're kind of stitching this otherwise very fragmented industry together.
Fantastic. I think there are so many things that you can do and that you work already with, in particularly the safety space and also with SAAB that I'm aware, and I thought you could tell us a little bit more about that later. But before we go into more of the technical words and usage that we have in this area, I thought it'd be interesting actually for Daniel Kindstrand, who is the CEO at Herosight, to tell us a little bit more about Herosight. And this might be, very, very common and nothing that people need to understand more about. But I think for many, it could be interesting. If you could just share some more on what is the difference between AR and VR, or augmented reality versus virtual reality, because I don't think anyone better than you can tell us more about that.
So yes, I'm running the company Herosight, and we are specialized in augmented reality simulation training for such as paramedics, firefighters, and military and police officers. To explain the differences between virtual reality, I would like to exemplify that virtual reality, you put a headset on and you end up in a completely artificial environment. In augmented reality, you use transparent headset glasses, enabling enhancement of the physical space with holographic 3D objects. For an example, use case is that the application that we can see is Pokemon Go is augmented reality application. Thank you, Cecilia.
And few more words about Herosight, because not everyone would be so familiar with exactly what it is that you do. And for example, can you give us an example how you would work in the civil security space?
So as I mentioned, that we focus on first responder professions, including military medics. What we do is that these professions need to be able to make adequate decisions in stressful situations. In order to do so, we traditionally have done theatrical training methods of actors, makeup injuries. What Herosight does is that we automatization of this with software, applying injuries on a mannequin, person, or student in real time. By doing so, we minimize the preparation, the execution, and the restorement of a simulation training, enabling repetitive training possible at any location, any time, and any place, for a fraction of the cost that the traditional simulation training takes today.
Thank you so much. I will move on the same topic to our next speaker, Raman Vaidyanathan. You're joining us from India today, and I had the pleasure of speaking with CP Gunani earlier, and he was warmly speaking about you and in your important role within the company, being the CTO and looking after also IoT. And I wanted first, of course, to very much say welcome to all the way from India. And I also wanted to share a few words. Why do you believe it's so important for India and Sweden to collaborate? Because you do work a lot with Sweden, but just words from yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think thanks for the great introduction. So Tech Mahindra very firmly believes that digital technology would play an important role to address the civil security requirements for the country. And we feel that with the kind of civil security research that is happening in the Europe region and especially in Sweden, quite a good amount of those technologies could essentially come in along with the startups in India to have them essentially deployed for various activities. Because for a vast country like India, the digital transformation programs will help by harnessing various data that is available and also the communication technologies in order to ensure these data are transported securely. It is very important that we leverage opportunities that are offered by the emerging technologies, such as artificial intelligence, while at the same time ensure we practice the adoption of responsible AI, because this is going to be very important to prevent the malicious use of these technologies. So it would be appropriate if India and Sweden were able to exchange information on their ongoing civil security research to address security needs by providing solutions that are scalable and complying to international standards. Incidentally, the Situational Awareness for Enhancement Security, SAFE, the platform from SAAB, we essentially collaborate with them in bringing this to India. And this will really help a country like India to leverage a ready-to-use platform, complying to international standards, and to support various government agencies like Nirbhaya Fund to provide safe city programs. As you know, Tech Mahindra is very much involved in close to 6 or 7 safe city programs in India as part of the Smart City Initiative. And recently, in order to address the current pandemic, we were able to help 2 of the smart city implementations to essentially create a COVID war room in order to take care of the needs of the citizens. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Raman. That leads me to my question in regards to what we as also a Swedish company or what Swedes can do in India and to support India. And Anders Lindström, you are the Vice President and Director of Sales for the medical care at SAAB. And I know that you are very much involved in India now and active in India, but I'd like to hear from you. How do you take care of the remote medical treatments in India today? Give us some inspiration.
Yes, thank you for the introduction. We have actually been working together with our colleagues in India to look into the different kinds of medical care activities and deployable hospitals. And we have not come that far yet, but we are continuously working, trying to find new things to actually develop in the country. So I think that the thing I will do is actually that I will present SAAB's capability in the area. SAAB is working in all domains, air, sea and land, and we have the capability to deliver turnkey solutions, everything included except for the medical staff, all from advanced medical treatment packs at the point of injury and up to full-scale Role 3 deployment hospital. I will soon explain a little bit what the different roles in Role 1 to 3 is. In the air domain, we deliver medevac capabilities. It's a medical evacuation where we transform ordinary aircrafts to be able to transport injured people. And this also includes all the life-saving medical equipment. In the sea domain, for Role 1 and Role 2, we deliver the medical care capability also, both to coast guards, cruise ships, and other vessels. And if we're talking about land domain, there we have everything from this advanced medical treatment packs up to a full-scale Role 3 hospital. And independent of solution or domain, it all comes with all necessary domestic certificates. So if we look into the smallest one, the Role 1 deployable hospital, it comes with a reception, triage, and primary health care. And in the land domain, this is a tent-based lightweight solution, weight of 750 kilos that could be dropped from air, both from helicopter and fixed wing. And if you add on to the Role 2, then this is all included, of course, in the Role 1, but then you also have the prevention and environmental health care with microbiological analysis systems and chemical analysis, and also a deployable field lab. And then to the largest one, it's a Role 3. There you have also the specialist surgery, specialist diagnostics, veterinary, morgue, and dentist, etc. And often when we actually deliver some kind of this large deployable hospitals, it's often a role mission-based design to the equipment. And I also want to mention two other reference cases. The first one is from Norway, where we delivered a Road 2 on board a Norwegian logistic ship Maud. And in full operation, it includes 50 people working with medical care on this ship. And the second one, and it's the newest one actually, and it's a Road 3 in Australia. And it's the size of it is actually to have up to 70 hard and soft shelter solutions with 550 medical care modules, the size of up to 2 football fields. And the full operation, this will include 400 people working together. We actually have a very broad portfolio within the medical care solution and deployable hospitals. So this is a really interesting area for us right now. So yeah, I think I'll stop there.
Thank you, Anders. I think there are many who doesn't know how much SAAB is doing in the medical care space, but everyone should be very thankful for what it is that you are doing. Unfortunately, we couldn't see you, but hopefully when we come back to your last question, we will also see you, because that would be really, really nice. Okay. Thank you once again. I'm going to move back to your colleague, Peter. Peter, you mentioned earlier, of course, you touched on what you do with the police in the UK. And I think it's very interesting for us listening in, and in particular, when we look at India, is this something that you are looking at replicating in India, or is that something that you might already have started?
Yes, of course. And as both my colleague in Tech Mahindra talked about, we have the CITES program or project where we test the SAFE platform for a transport solution. But of course, the platform is also for police control rooms and for airports. It's a platform where you digitalize and automate control rooms. And if you look at the UK example, we take out maybe 8+ old systems for every, just putting in one new. And of course that makes it more efficient and cheaper. So I think it's a good platform for India.
Great. Well, looking forward to see that being replicated in India. I do spend most of my time in India, so I feel safer knowing that SAAB is operating and active in India. I must say that. So I'm also very happy to have, of course, Tech Mahindra being around me, both in India and in Sweden. But I want to ask you, Raman, in regards to Tech Mahindra, because I think it's a very valid question now in the current pandemic. And that is, when it comes to the current pandemic and civil security becoming even more important, do you believe that the current infrastructure when it comes to security, surveillance, and also the emergency response, do you believe that this has been put effective into usage to deal with the current COVID crisis that we are facing? Do you believe that it has? And if it hasn't, what are you doing to change this? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, in continuation of my previous answer, as you said that Tech Mahindra have installed close to 6-7 smart city implementations for India. And actually, when we had this challenge of pandemic, we were able to convert 2 of the command and control centers into COVID war rooms. And especially these 2 war rooms are in cities called Kanpur and Pimpri Chinchwad. And we were able to make changes or customize few of them in order to help the war room. What we did was we were able to make some customization to the mobile applications and the portal that we have developed so that this is being enabled to be used for collaboration with citizens. Also, we created a help desk where it provides information during the lockdowns to the citizens what could be done. Also, as part of the smart cities, there have been a lot of these display units across the cities. They were used to provide advisory messages of do's and don'ts. Also, one of the main things that was required was in places of infected red zones, we essentially wanted to ensure that there are no people movement. So the surveillance setup really helped to monitor the movements of the citizens so that in case there is going to be any breach, we're able to inform the police immediately to act on them. Also, the public address systems were also used to broadcast specific messages because pandemic times are difficult. And in order to manage these tough times, technology, that to the digital technology, was really very helpful and effective in handling the situation. So I would say that while this was not really got off in a big way for all the smart city implementation, what we have done, but definitely two smart cities really leveraged this and they were able to reap the benefits.
Thank you so much, Raman. That's very encouraging to hear. Very much so. Anders Lindström, I would like to take the word across to you. We have another 2 minutes left, so I'm going to ask you to make the elevator pitch, but just talk to us a little bit more about the deployable medical care. And if there's anything that you haven't been able to take care of today, where potentially people could help, or something that you're taking care of now. Anders Lindström, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, with the solution that we have, actually, we can support people both actually deployable out in the field, but we can also actually establish this kind of medical care, maybe to support already existing hospitals, for instance, in a COVID situation, where we can actually use the equipment together so we can expand the existing hospitals just outside. So this is actually one thing that we have looked into, and we also have the military in Sweden doing this with the equipment that they got. And then we also have, if you have accidents, larger accidents, for instance, with a large bus or things like that, you can have these kind of tents, very lightweight. You can have them actually put into service, and you can have the people staying together, just being able to actually to secure the situation. So there's not just this hospital care or surgery or things like that. You can also have it in another way as well. So this is actually a dual use way of working with this kind of equipment that we have been developed and the services.
Fantastic. So I think that's also very encouraging for many to hear, and hopefully there's someone who could also feel that there is something that they can potentially get involved in. We don't have that much time left, but these, of course, heroes that we've spoken with here today are available for further questions, should there be anything in particular. And I also want to say that Sweden-India Business Council, which I'm the Vice President for, are very much here to talk to you and to connect you with the right people. Because if you're a hero as well, and if you want to be a part of a secure future in civil security, cybersecurity, and so on, we are here to help and support and to bridge you with the right people. So do not hesitate to reach out. I want to again thank my speakers, and I look forward to future collaborations between Sweden and India, between the companies that we now have here in front of us now, and very much often with SAAB at the forefront. So thank you once again, and I would leave now over to you, Sanjay Malhotra, for the expert panel with comments on this particular subject. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. And yes, really wonderful to listen to. I think very insightful. It's also it's very much based on what's actually happening today in terms of the COVID crisis. But of course, it can be any such crisis that could come up. But Jenny, I thought I can ask you first. We hear about AR, VR, smart cities, and safety. there's so much cross-fertilization here on our everyday. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm very encouraged to see the story of Herosight and how the first use cases within this field are starting to scale up. SAAB is collaborating a lot with different startups, and one of them is a Swedish company called XM Reality, also within the same field, where we can do remote service and guidance and not have to travel. And that has been very helpful during this crisis. And I think going into the new normal is something that we will continue with to be more efficient and climate friendly in our operations.
Right. And Anil, I would like to ask you if you would like to comment on the same thing.
Yeah. So, yes, I would actually. So what struck me, listening to all this, is that this is not something, distant future,
right.
Down the road. The building blocks to make this futuristic vision happen is there now. So just last month, Airtel announced that they're 5G ready. We know that Ericsson and Vodafone have started trialing, drones which are controlled on via 5G rather than, short-range radio.
Right.
And they're trialing. The traffic in India. I think most of us who work with India, we don't have to, speculate over how quickly you can get through traffic if it's an emergency.
Right.
So if you need life-saving drugs on the site, you could have a little, 5G controlled drone reach there pretty much instantly. So scenarios like that are going to happen. The bits are in place.
Yeah.
Everything which, now we just have to adopt the technology and make it happen. I think that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah. And Paul, will you tell us, give us, you have about a minute to give us your viewpoint.
All right. Yeah, thank you. No, well, first of all, of course, it's very clear from this session that the innovation that happens in the defense industry can also benefit society as a whole. And that's a very important takeaway, I think, just as it was with the aerospace industry a long time ago, maybe. And also important for me, I think, the Swedish Energy Agency is actually also part of civil defense in Sweden, and we have gotten more and more tasks there recently as being a regulator for security networks and information systems for the energy sector. So it's also interesting to hear what startups from India could benefit also maybe Swedish grid companies and others. And the third point that wasn't mentioned too much, but where we work is, of course, on climate change. So also climate adaptation and the risk of natural disasters will also need more of these technologies and systems in the future, as I believe.
Well, thank you, my dear expert panelists. We are now at the halfway point of the India-Sweden Innovation Day. Before